Hi, you guys. Jim wasn't the only one with an embarrassing picture from the 80s. I have one too. This is about 1985, and that was about the same time as I did my very first show. I was a bunny rabbit and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I just fell in love with performing then and there. Singing, dancing, acting, it was all that I wanted to do all the time, and it ended up taking me places. This is me, my first day at NYU Tisch School of the Arts. So thrilled to be taking a picture outside on the sidewalk by my parents. It was not embarrassing at all. This is a very blurry shot of me on Oprah's Favorite Things on Saturday Night Live with Megan Mullally. That was one of the coolest things ever. That's me on a cruise ship. And yes, that is a halter top spandex leopard print bell-bottom jumpsuit, in case you were curious. That's me in a show in Key West. We made the paper, and that was cool. I cut it out, because that's what we did before the internet. And this is me hand-jiving it up as Cha-Cha in Greece in Whitefield, New Hampshire. It was not all glitz and glamour, let me tell you, but it was mostly fun until it wasn't. You know, I graduated from NYU in '99, a whole year early, probably the only person on the planet to do that, because I was so excited to start pounding the pavement. And it took about 5 years for me to really start listening to this voice that was very quiet in the back of my head, telling me, you might not want to be doing this as a career anymore, as a grown-up. And I resisted that voice for a long time. This was all I knew. This was my identity and who I was. But as it got louder and louder, I started thinking about what I wanted as a grown-up. I wanted a home base. I wanted to not have to be away from my friends and family in order to work, and I wanted mythical things like insurance and 401ks. But at that point, when I realized acting wasn't going to give me those things, I just spent 20 years of just devoting myself to this dream and this passion of mine. I couldn't think of spending the next 40 years of my life in a job that I didn't love. So I set out to find my passionate, grown-up career, and I found life coaching. Yeah, I was less than thrilled. It was hippy-dippy, which I am not. I am now, but I wasn't then. It was entrepreneurial, and it was just the opposite of stable. But when I thought about it, I thought of myself being the coach that I needed at the time, someone to help creative people through their career transitions, and it just lit me up like performing did, and I couldn't deny that. I also couldn't deny that being an entrepreneur just fit really well with who I was and how I worked best and what I wanted to achieve. So the very first thing that I did when I decided I'm going to be a life coach was not to just start coaching right away. I knew I wanted to get my certification and build my business first. So the very first thing that I did was get out of this horrendous, worst job I've ever had with a verbally abusive boss. I was a slave to the BlackBerry. I would get berated if it was Sunday at 10 p.m. and I wasn't responding to emails. There was a needless travel. I knew I would never have time to do any of this myself. So I got out of that job and I found a clock in at 9, clock out at 6, no overtime because they had to pay you for it, no BlackBerry, no travel, not the best fit, but fine executive assistant at a financial consultant company. I was not allowed to look that cute, but it was definitely better. I was able to build my business on nights and weekends and get my certification. But I was so good. You guys are all smiling and smiling at me, and I kind of lost where I was, but now I remember. So I was in that job, and I built my business, and I decided really quickly on my niche, coaching creatives, and I decided on my name, the When I Grow Up Coach, which I was totally excited about, and I built like a very bare bones website. And I sent the link to my friends and family, like, hey, look at this thing that I'm doing. I'm kind of open for business. Great. And I got lots of love and support back. But I had a conversation with my dad after he got sent that link. And he told me, he saw the website, and it was great what I was doing, but he wouldn't hire me, my own father. So I said to him, well, why wouldn't you hire me, Dad? And he said, well, number one, you make too many references to being Jewish on your site. And for the record, like, I think I said oy vey probably somewhere, because I say that. And two, I think in my bio I said I'm a nice Jewish girl from Long Island, but I guess that was too much for my Jewish father. But beyond that, he said the colors and the tone of the copy, it was all too casual, and it was all just not professional. And he wouldn't take me seriously if he was a prospective client. And while he was saying this, I found myself smiling, which surprised me. I was able to recognize that his advice came from a really good place because he was a business owner himself, and I knew he thought that he was helping me. But I was able to say to him, well, Dad, thanks for your thoughts, but I don't want to work with 60-year-old businessmen. I don't, and I just have to trust that, I've put on my site who I am, and the people that are going to want to work with me are going to be able to recognize that. So thanks but no thanks, basically, is what I said. And it was really validating because he was, he did one of those dad things like, well, okay, we'll do what you want, but blah, 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 and I've been doing this forever. But I got 6 months later, I got a call from Newsweek, and they were doing a video feature on life coaching. They wanted to interview me. And when I told my dad that, my dad said to me, well, I know you didn't listen to me to begin with, but keep not listening to me because you're obviously doing something right. They found me from the internet. So now it's been 5 years as the When I Grow Up coach. 3 years as a woman of the world, which is what I like to call being a full-time entrepreneur. And I have worked personally with over 250 clients. I've created lots of programs. I'm a traditionally published author. I've spoken at Etsy and South by Southwest and the World Domination Summit. I'm here on this bill with these speakers. And last month I made the Forbes Top 100 Websites for Your Career list. Thank you. Right? Okay, and I tell you this, I love the applause. I'm not going to say I don't tell you this not for the applause. I obviously love the applause. But I tell you this because I did all of this. I did most of it with my pink ukulele, Lucille. Okay, how do you make the Forbes list when you're singing on your website with the ukulele? I don't know, but I did. So I brought Lucille into a lot of the work I did, whether I was looking for a theme song for the videos that I produced. When I grow up, I want to love what I do. And the When I Grow Up coach can help you get a clue. Let's give a big hip hip and don't forget a hooray. I'm the When I Grow Up coach and I can help you find your passionate career today. Oh, thank you. There's more. I also used it when I worked with my best friend on a program together, and she was a guitarist who bought a uke when I did, and we're like, let's write an original song and then make a music video all about our course, and then we're gonna launch that to the internet. And part of it went like this. Pierre was working in a grocery store, stocking the shelves and mopping the floor. He was dreaming of really big things, but didn't know how to give his dreams some wings until he found the Declaration of You. It helps you discover how you're truly true. It'll make you one of the awesome few who will shout from the rooftops what makes you you. And yes, we named our band the Declaration of Ukes because puns, right? Am I right? And the traditionally published book that I mentioned before, this still blows my mind, but this is what it was. A publisher found us online, and we had an ebook that we just self-published ourselves, and they were interested in it, and they bought it. And it's crazy because the arrow is going to the host of the Declaration of You. His name is Pierre-Francois Frédéric. He's a Frenchman, illustrated, AKA made up Frenchman, who loves Judge Judy and only eats desserts at TGI Fridays. And yet a publisher bought this and said, yes, we want to spread this silliness into the world, and now you could go to bookstores and go on Amazon and pick up this book. It's really literally blowing my mind. But back to the ukulele. I also used it when I got diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer in November 2011, and I don't say that to bring the room down. I'm totally fine. Yes, I was very young, and all the faces, yes, dramatic. But I wanted to make sure that I was telling this really craptastic news to my clients and my audience in the least craptastic way possible. So I took Lucille and I made a video, and part of it went like this. I got boob cancer. Yes, I got boob cancer. But don't feel bad for me, 'cause I gotta get a lumpectomy. Yes, I rhyme me with me. I got boob cancer. Yes, I got boob cancer. It's the stupidest thing I ever heard. This cancer's for the birds. It's worse than a big fat turd. I got boob cancer. And that was picked up by that's like a real news thing. People were in their houses watching the news and my video would come up. Just crazy. But really, I want to talk about how you guys could tap into your inner child and your uniquity and bring that into your work and your business. And thank you both for really reinforcing this. I felt like we all built on top of each other, which is great. Because the main thing I think we need to realize when we're talking about tapping into our inner child is that we need to have fun. It's me and my husband having fun in our Team Awesome t-shirts because we're weird and that's fine. I think as adults, we think it's cheating if something's fun or easy. We feel like the Puritans, we have to torture ourselves and go the hard way. But what's great is that as 21st century entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, there are infinite options as to what you want to offer and how you want to package it and how you want to market that thing. So we need to really tap into our own uniquity and trust that our own mixture of likes, strengths, skills, personality traits, education, experience, it all makes us a unique snowflake, as cheesy as that sounds. And we need to trust that that's enough for us to build the type of businesses that are gonna make us be excited to wake up on a Monday morning. You have to listen to that what if that's in your head. It's not about what the experts are telling you to do. It's instead about thinking, what if I decided to interview people on a live Spreecast show every month who are already living their dream jobs and just see how they do it? That would be fun. What if I took my career change worksheets and I put them together in a workbook, but then I rewrote them so that they all rhyme? Like a crazy Dr. Seuss, what color is your parachute mashup? To me, that's my idea of fun, oddly enough. But I think Twyla Tharp said it best in The Creative Habit, and she said, honey, that's how I picture Twyla Tharp talking, honey, it's all been done before, nothing is really original. Not Homer or Shakespeare, or certainly not you. Get over yourself. And I think that's the piece where we need to let go of the fact that we have to create something totally new that no one's ever seen before or can identify. But instead, going back to being a unique snowflake, knowing it's enough and it's encouraged for you to pick up your ukulele or your crayons or your video camera or iTunes podcast, whatever is exciting for you, and bringing that into what you're doing. If you want more resources on this, I'm giving myself a little plug. When I grow up coach, actually, wait, this is a different slide. If you think I'm wrong, yes, this is a if you think I'm wrong slide. I'm proving you that I'm not wrong. When you go home, Google Creative Career Coach, and you're gonna see like pages and pages of people popping up. And open up the links of everyone on the first page. You'll see me, and you'll see these 5 or 6 other people, and just kind of look at all of us and see, well, what's this person like? What's this person like? What is she offering? And what is he offering? And you're gonna see so many differences that just trusting that we are who we are and that's enough and we can bring that out to what we do is gonna give us room for everyone. So this is my plug. I have a 10 ways to discover work that feels like play video series on my website, and these are the books that go write these down, put it in your postcard to go get these books. Not only my own book, but only because it just ties into exactly what I'm talking about. But The Artist's Way, The War of Art, and really anything by Carrie Smith, but I especially enjoyed Wreck This Journal. I'll leave this up for another second. I see people taking pictures. Fantastic, fantastic ways to dig into finding the unique, creative inner child that is in all of us. That's how you keep playing. That's how indeed. That's how you keep having fun. And get what you need. Thank you very much.